Thank you for listening to the Jayar Show podcast. I am Jayar, the host. So looking forward to this chat today. Leanna Crawford, she is so fun. In this episode, we're going to talk about her latest song, Still Water. She's married to a 7-feet tall NBA player, and we're both from Seattle, so lots to cover. Let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, back to the radio show, the legendary Leanna Crawford.
Wow, thank you. Thank you.
I was just putting together, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later, but
Yeah.
I've told you this every time that you and I chat, that Truth I'm Standing On is one of the biggest songs in the history of faith-based music. I know it didn't pan out like as a financial windfall, but I think it also came out at a weird time, didn't it?
Yeah, it was weird timing because it was like during COVID. And we shifted, like the inside is that we like shifted singles. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
But I, even to this day when I played, I'm like, how was this not? Either way, that was a song you wrote with Matthew West, or he wrote it, or you together?
I wrote it. Yep, I wrote it with Matthew West and then AJ Pruce. And the sweet thing about that song is like it wasn't like it didn't do like the number one thing that everybody wanted, but it's still one of my like most impactful songs, which is so cool. And I feel like it's kind of timeless, and you hope that all music is, but like people like hear that song and they're like, it really helped me through this season. So I'm like, I'm so thankful for that. Like that's all I could ask for.
Before we get in deep here, I forgot. We need all your questions that I'm going to be asking you are not in front of me. They're in that golden thing over there that we're going to put air into right now. And when that blows up, all your questions are in there. There's cash in there. There's fake cash in there.
Oh, wow.
There's Publix coupons. Like it's just, there's going to be a lot of stuff flying. And actually, because you've done your hair, we're thinking about sending a replacement in for you to grab your questions.
I love that. I mean, either way.
Do you want to go in? Because you're basically, all you're doing is grabbing things out of the air, your questions out of the air. And it's going to be windy, but the wind kind of stays down a lot.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, let's
go. I'm in.
So you're mic'd up. I'm mic'd up. We're going to fire it up here. Just for 30 seconds, grab as much as you can.
Okay.
Try to get as much money as you can.
I love that we're just right in. We're going.
Oh, yeah.
I'm ready.
I love that artists know you just take a breath when you walk in the door.
Yeah.
Something's about to happen.
Something is about. That is a situation.
All right. So
wow.
I'm going to.
Do I just walk over there?
We'll be able to hear you in there. There's also a GoPro in there.
Okay.
So smile at the camera.
Okay, I'll smile.
And then the audience will be able to hear you.
Okay.
But you and I won't be able to hear each other.
Okay. So, awkward. Okay, cool.
Grab me some good questions.
Okay. I'm about to go. To get some questions.
Yeah, to get questions.
I don't know if I got any questions. Oh, I got a real dollar? Yes.
All right. For 1 second in that tube of wonder, whatever we're calling it, it looked like you were in a music video for a second because the wind hit your hair and you were like, I could hear, this is the truth. Like
That's where I should have filmed the music video. Was in that
in an air tube of cash.
In an air tube of cash. I think that would have given people the wrong idea. I'd be like, I don't get it.
Christian music.
I don't get it. That's so. I got a coupon. Oh wait, no, we're supposed to go through this.
Yeah.
It's like Afrin and Claritin for my allergies. Oh no. $3 off any Dove body wash.
Okay.
My husband uses that stuff, so I could give that to him.
Afrin. Someone said that stuff is like bad news. You got to stay away from Afrin.
I don't know.
Nate Bargatze
Everything.
does a whole thing on it where it's like, if you don't know about the Afrin world, don't get into it. Because it's bad.
Did you see his one where he talks about eating fruit? And he's like, this is so bad. But he's like, apparently fruit is bad for you now because of the sugar content. And he's like, show me your fat friend that only eats pineapple. I was like, but it's true. Sorry, that's terrible.
Yeah, but it's sugar.
But it's like the sugar, and I'm like, okay, but it's the point. I love him.
All right, one of the questions we pulled here. Leanna, what is your worship style in church? Coffee in hand, put the coffee down, hands up, one hand. If you can unveil that to us.
Yeah, no, it depends. I'm usually like coffee in hand. When I was younger, I was really like hands on the chair in front of me, and I was making a beat, which who knows what that was? I don't know. Yeah. I couldn't help myself. I do move around a little though. Okay. So like if I'm like leading worship, I'm like moving. I can't like help myself. Right. Sometimes probably too much. I don't know. Like I'm just all over. People are like,
the camera guy is like,
they're like, yeah, not. Yeah. Cameras.
Well, she was here.
She was here. Who knows? But yeah, usually I do like a little coffee, and I'm like maybe hands. It just depends on the moment.
But we can all agree that the second somebody starts to lift their hands and the coffee stays in the hand, we've gone too far.
Yeah, no, that's not.
The coffee has to go down if
on
you're
the ground
up.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Yeah,
that's charismatic. That's like next. That's
borderline.
That's the next level. That would not be.
I don't think I've ever seen it, but I've been tempted because I'm sipping, and if I'm in a moment where I'm gonna lift my hands, there's part of my brain that says, "No, you are not raising those hands whilst holding the cup,"
which I think is good. That's some like social cues right there. You're like, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
If you're wondering if the Holy Spirit lives in you, if you've heard that prompt going, put that cup down, you're good.
Yeah. You've been saved. You're Krish. You've been saved. You've been saved. That's amazing.
The song that we've been playing, I forget if we added it before Christmas music hit or after, but Still Waters, it says in parentheses Psalm 23 on the screen, but that's not the name of it.
Well, no, I mean, kind of though. Yeah. It kind of, that is
it's like
actually.
its middle name.
Yeah, it's like the middle name. I did that because the chorus is essentially Psalm 23. So I was like, I don't know if you're not really supposed to do that maybe, but Still Waters, Psalm 23. So everybody knows what it's talking about.
In heaven, David is coming to collect royalties from a lot of us.
Yeah, no, he is. Yeah. He is. And rightfully so.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Can you walk me up the song, why you decided to do it and
Yeah, it was a really sweet, like, I feel like there's two pieces of it, because I walked into the room with my co-writers that day, and Jonathan Gamble and Justin Richards, both amazing. I'd never written with Justin before. I'd written with Jonathan a few times, and I feel like songs come from like different places, but that day specifically, Jonathan was like, hey, I have this idea, and it was like the start of the chorus for Still Waters, and then we just started like talking, and it was just like so beautiful, because I started to talk about like my great aunt, and we like, it's just crazy to like even put that, but like the very first line of the song is like my great aunt Maureen, and people have asked me if she was that's like a real person, but like she was, and my mom's aunt, and she like loved the Lord, and she loved people, and she was actually like a missionary all over the world, but just like this amazing woman, and she like found out she was going blind in her 40s and decided to memorize the whole Bible, which is like wild. And I don't even know, she was just like, that's what I'm gonna do. But I think back then she didn't have Bible on audio, so she's like, I gotta memorize it to know it. And so my mom had told me about my aunt, and I got to meet her because we grew up Northwest. My aunt was like Pennsylvania towards the end of her life, and so I was like middle school. My aunt was 103 years old when I met her, and she was like this like tiny little woman with like all the sass in the world, and so cute, and just like, but like so full of love. And she just like knew that Scripture was true, and like the Word of God was true, and she like lived that every day. And while we were hanging out with her, we did test like her knowledge of Scripture, and we're like, do you actually have it memorized? And so we like opened the Bible, and we're like, say this, and then she like totally did. It was incredible, and she just like, it was so beautiful. But while we were there was like a couple different, like several different calls that came in of people like just asking her for prayer. So she was like 103 years old and asking for prayer, and I just thought that was like so beautiful. So I was like a middle schooler. It was just such an impactful day. So then that day, getting to like share her story in the song, and then for like now at shows, and just like getting to share her story, and like her legacy is really special. Yeah.
And that's how this was birthed.
Yes.
Right here.
Yeah.
Let's go with, I need to ask you this. What has been the best and hardest part of marrying somebody 7 feet tall?
He can change all the light bulbs. Yeah, that's really nice.
Well, I just use
A ladder.
A ladder.
But no, there's a lot, I feel like he can change the light bulbs. Fire alarm. He did actually do that last week, which was amazing. So he just was like, yeah, I did that. No, there's a lot of tall jokes that I make, and he hears a lot.
What's your vehicle situation, the two of you?
Actually, so he drove like a Dodge Charger for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
It was like his first car, and he just had it forever. And then finally he got like a bigger, like a Yukon, I think is what it is. And so it's like, actually, I feel like it fits him because he's very large.
Yeah.
But he did, it was so sweet. I feel like he's the sweetest, but he surprised me with like my dream car last year, which is a Ford Bronco. And he asked them to like bring the seat back 6 inches. So like he can drive it, and then I can also. So like I bring it all the way forward as far as it goes, and it fits me, and then he brings it all the way back and it fits him. But it works. So the car situation it works, we make it work. But
I was going to ask, like, if you're driving to church and he's driving, do you put your seat all the way back so you guys can have a conversation? Because it feels like you're 2 rows ahead of him in a movie theater.
Yeah, then we'd have to be. No, it is. It is. Yeah, I kind of do that one time. So my sister actually has a Mini Cooper, and he was driving that, and we were like just like passing this guy on the road, and this guy yelled, he's like, "How do you fit in there?" So he can surprisingly fit in small spaces too.
I was gonna ask, is there a medical because for the rest of your life to have a conversation with him, your neck has to be cricked up. Have you felt any, are you nervous of any arthritis type of a thing? Because think about it. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
Yeah.
Every conversation you have to be like this.
You can't hold it there very long.
Yeah.
So even like our first dance at our wedding, and I'm just like, I have heels that are so tall, and they didn't really help that much. But usually I just have him like take a step back. So like we like talk like this far apart. Like we're like, so then there's like a better angle.
Okay.
So that helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Or we just like sit down and have a conversation.
That's true. Because once
or in the car.
Yeah.
When I'm up here and he's back here.
One of the questions you pulled out of our wind tunnel of mystery, or whatever it's called. Leanna, how well do you think you would do if somebody put you in prison for a week? What would be the hardest part based on your personality, from being in a cell to cafeteria time to arts and crafts or whatever they do? How well do you think you would fare in prison?
I would die. I would literally be dead. I think I would try to make friends. I'd probably try to
right out of the gate?
No.
Or fight someone right out of the gate.
Because if you fight someone, then they know you're tough, right?
You set the precedence at that point.
Yeah, I want to think that's me, but I just don't think
it's a risk.
It's a risk because you also could die. But I think I would start a singing group, and we would sing. I would find the singers, and we would sing, and then we'd all get beaten up together.
It's a gang.
It's a gang of singers. A group of
people is a gang.
So we could survive if I might make friends.
Okay, what about in the cell? If you're by yourself, do you do well with solo?
Gosh. No, I would be. It's good for me to have alone time. So maybe it'd actually be good for me.
Good for you.
It would be. I love the sunshine and hanging out with people. Is there sunshine in the yard time?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's outdoor time.
Yeah, outdoor time. Yeah. I would be just walking laps. So if anyone did that with me,
that's also where you empty little pieces of the wall you've been chiseling every night.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's true. I would figure out an escape plan. Yeah. I would do that for sure.
All right. You weren't expecting that question.
No, I wasn't. I love that question. Never had that before.
Or ever will.
Are you concerned about me?
No. I think you'll be fine. I think your musical gang is going to work out great for you. Leanna, what is it is very, just to our audience, Matthew West has been very influential in your life. Brought you, in my opinion, the song of... It's just a huge song and the truth I'm standing on. But then he also brought you your husband in a sense too. Is that how that worked out?
Technically, yes.
Okay.
Technically, yes. I was opening for him outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. So he came to hang out with him, and Cody and I met. This is 2018. But I was dating someone else at the time. I was blind. I didn't know, Yeah. And it didn't work out, praise God. And then in 2020 during COVID, Cody and I hung out. And I was outside Charlotte again. I was leading worship, kind of under the radar because we couldn't say anything back then. But my sister was you need to tell Cody that you are near him, in town. And I was I'm not going to do that. And then I looked, and on Instagram, he had messaged me, and I'd never responded for 3 months. And so I was like, perfect. I'm sorry I ghosted you, but would you like to come hang out? And he did, and we had the best time. So it was so sweet. Here we are.
So you met during
We met like 2018,
okay.
and then he would message me every once in a while, like Merry Christmas or Happy Birthday. But it wasn't like, I didn't think, like he was just like kind of like, he was being nice. Yeah, like he was just being nice. Like he wasn't even being flirty.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like checking in. Yeah. And then it all worked out. Okay. And here we are. I'm so glad.
Did anything about NBA life shock you as an NBA wife?
Oh, I mean, it was all just kind of wild. Yeah. Like it was just like a wild thing, and it was really special. Like it's a very unique thing to get to do. You know, I mean, I think so they have like a unique thing an hour before tip off, they have chapel. Before every game, it's like 10 minutes, and the home team hosts it. And I thought like that was super cool. So especially like last year, we were like with the New Orleans Pelicans, and a lot of his teammates, like Cody and his teammates, would go, which was like really sweet. But like he played in Charlotte for 8 years, and like he's like really, really good friends with those chaplains. Okay. And they were like at our wedding, which is so sweet. So like that was really sweet. So there's like really special parts because it's an interesting world.
Yeah. So Michael Jordan was his boss for a while?
Yes.
Did Jordan sign the paychecks?
Yeah, I think technically. Yeah.
Did you get to meet Jordan?
No, but he did ask about me one time. Which Cody told me, and I was like, that's so cool.
You're like, I'll take that.
I was like, I'll take it. No, because we started dating, and that was like his last final year with the Hornets. And so, but Michael MJ had known that he was like talking, because Cody, like they would go on these trips, these Jordan trips, because he was like a Jordan athlete anyways, and Cody would always take his parents. Like he could take a guest, so he would either take his mom or his dad, and that was kind of like a running joke that Cody Zeller takes his parents, because anyways. And so then when we started dating, MJ did ask about me one time, and I was like, that's cool. I can die happy now, because Michael Jordan asked about me. He had no idea, but he's like, how's your girlfriend? He's like, how's your girlfriend? That was it.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about the most memorable moment on a stage in your lifetime?
Oh, wow. I feel, okay, my most memorable moment. Okay, I had like the most special show last year, actually. And it was because it was like kind of a hometown show, but it was sort of a dream. We have like the Washington State Fair out there. Puyallup. Yeah. And do the Puyallup. Yeah. So I had like wanted to play there.
I held so many girls' hands there. Not the same day. I'm just saying.
Not the same day.
Yeah, Christian youth group kids. Like,
man.
Holding the girl's hand at the Puyallup Fair is like, this is it for us. This is the Super Bowl.
It literally is.
The girl's hand past the cotton candies.
And the scones. The scones. Yeah. So good.
Start going.
No, and this was literally last year, and it was just so special because I had wanted to play it for such a long time. And the venue is really sweet because the sound, it's outdoor amphitheater, but like you can hear everything. Yeah. And we opened for Toby Mac, and it was just like, it was a blast. And it was a lot of people in the crowd that I didn't even know were going to be there, but it was just like friends and family from like years and people I went to school with, and like it was a really special show. Yeah. So I think just that being like a hometown thing was one of my favorite.
That's awesome. Can you walk me up the song Honest?
Yeah.
Which is a new song, or it's
yes. No, it's out. Yeah. It's out, but it's new. It's new. Yeah. Yeah, that song, it's been like really sweet to see because it has been out. I put it out on my first official album last year, which is like wild. But it's been really sweet because when I wrote that, I like had like the first verse, which is just like, it was kind of essentially like a journal entry, and I didn't really know like if it would be a song because I was just like, I feel like this is like too real. Yeah, like I was honest. Like, I feel like it's very honest. And I brought it to my co-writers, and they were amazing with it, and just we like ended up writing that, and it just felt really special. But when I like get to share that live at shows, it's been like really sweet to get to kind of share that, because like to see people react to it live. But it's really like, again, like, you know, I have Psalm 23, but then I'm also like, I feel like David also is just so honest in all of like the Psalms that he writes. He's like pouring out his heart. He's like depressed, and then he's also like, but I'm praising you at the same, like he's praising God too. And so honest is kind of that, like it's both, like I'm honest. I know that you're good, even if I don't feel it right now. And so I think that's what it kind of like, it's like something every single night I'm like, I need this right right now too. But it was like written in a season when I really needed that.
Oh, when you write a line where he says, "My tears are my food," it's so like this. These were meant for songwriters. You can't blame us, David.
I feel like I need to write that. My tears are my food.
Exactly.
My tears are my. Sorry.
Like you can be sad, but when your tears are your food, he's descriptive about whatever he was going through.
He's just so real.
Yeah.
And he's like a man after God's own heart. And I feel like there's just like this, I need to be perfect. I need to be put together. And even like when I look at people on stage, I'm like, they must be such great Christians. Yeah. And so I think for me to be able to like have that moment, I mean, I'm like try to be honest during my shows too, but I'm just like, hey, I'm in it with y'all. Like it's just very much, we're all just doing this, trying to survive, you know?
Yeah. 2025, what is something on your calendar you are so stoked for right now? Whether it's album, tours.
I am so excited because I'm doing my first ever like headline tour, which is so exciting. But it's called the Still Waters Tour, and I have my buddy Kay Thompson opening for me, and it's just gonna be so sweet. So I'm kind of like in the middle of. I'm actually like really terrified too. Like I'm freaking out because I'm like I don't know if anyone's gonna come, but I'm excited to do it. You know, like I'm like who knows? It could be amazing. I could fall on my face, but I think it's good.
No matter what, it's still just nice to get out of the house.
Yeah. It's so nice to leave. Actually, I would also love to stay home, but I'm really excited about this tour. Yeah. It's good. It's good with my garden. Stay with my garden at home.
I still have to say, coming out of Christmas this past year, that I don't know if the rest of the world has bonded with it, but California Dreamin', Christmas Dreamin' is still one of my favorite Christmas songs. I don't know if it was ever pitched as a Christmas single to radio, but I found it and I put it in. Manually, I put it in the rotation.
Thank you. Every year. Thank you for those royalties.
Yeah,
that's because of you.
So you see my work
yes,
in
I
your
do.
check.
I do.
Yeah,
Thank you. That's literally you.
A lot of heavy Florida around Christmas time. We're getting checked.
Feels good.
Always great to see you. Congrats on everything.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely love her. Thank you to Leanna Crawford for being the guest for this episode. Let's talk about the next episode. My man Cochran from Cochran & Company will join me. So hit subscribe. You'll be alerted when the next episode is out. And we also appreciate you spreading the word about this podcast. And you can follow us on Instagram. And don't forget to hit subscribe. Till next time, thank you for listening. Peace.